We welcome you in from Novi on this cold Friday night as we get ready to go for some Catholic High School League action. I'm Cam Ryan alongside Victor Verma. Tonight, the Shamrocks of Detroit Catholic Central take on the Titans of St. John Jesuit. Shamrocks coming off a tough loss last week at an in-conference rival's house in Orchard Lake St. Mary's, but looking for revenge. Victor, what do the Shamrocks need to do tonight to come out victorious?
I think it first starts off with the defense. Defense has been a little bit of a struggle for the Shamrocks early on, and then cleaning up the boards on the offense. So should be a great game tonight.
Absolutely. Personally, I think they need to take care of the ball on offense. Turnovers have killed the Shamrocks all year. I think if they take care of that, they'll be just fine tonight. There's Malachi Clayton, sophomore on varsity. He's going to get the start tonight. And here comes another sophomore, Lyndon Boyai, will also get the start tonight. This sophomore class playing with a lot of chemistry lately. Getting ready for tip-off here. Coming into this one, Catholic Central is unranked in the state on max preps. However, St. John's is 58th in Michigan. St. John's also coming off of a victory, 66-30 versus Perkins High School. That was last week. As we see Lyndon Boyai and Coy Hammock getting ready for the tip-off here. Lyndon Boyai stands at a whopping frame 6'4". Here's Clayton to Lee, back to Clayton. Back to Lee, top of the key. He's gonna drive. Kicks it out to Boyai, back to Lee. Werner to Lee. Lee puts it up. That's not going to go. Boyai with the second effort and draws a foul. Boyai to the line. He'll shoot for two. It's a great second effort there after the miss by Devin Lee. Shamrocks looking to capitalize. First one won't go. Second one won't go either. Here comes the Jesuits. Teamer. To James. To Jones. Jones to Kowalik. Here's James. James will drive. James to Teamer. And he loses it. And here's Devin Lee to Clayton. Clayton brings it up the court. He's got Werner in the corner. And he'll give it to Bowden. Bowden, top of the key. He's going to drive. There's Werner. He's got Lee and Bowden in the corner. He's going to try to get around number 4, Teamer, but throws it out to Lee. Here's Bowden. Drives in, and you can't get it to go. Here's James, stolen away by Clayton, and he draws a foul.
Just a great job by Clayton there with the steal, forcing the contact.
Absolutely. Brings it in, passes it to Bowden. Here's Werner from 3. And that one won't go. Boyai on the second attempt, and he can't get it either. Here comes Jones. Never mind, that's Teamer. Brings it in, top of the key. Passes it off to Hammock. To Kowalczyk, and that one will not go from 3. Here's another deep ball, won't go. This time they get it in for 2. That's Coy Hammock. Clayton brings it up the court now. Clayton to Boyai to Bowden. To Werner off the wing. He's got Clayton at the never mind, he'll give it to Lee. And that one won't go out of bounds on the Shamrocks.
Definitely struggling here early for the Shamrocks on the shooting.
Yeah, absolutely. Just doesn't look like they can get anything to fall just yet. We've seen that throughout the year. They tend to start off a little slow. They are definitely not a very high scoring team. They average only 59.6 points a game. So their defense is going to have to be on point, as there's a 3 that won't go from Jones. Clayton swings it out to Lee. Lee will drive. He'll give it back to Clayton. Clayton, pump fake. And he'll just calm it down. Gets a screen from Boyai. Gives it back to Boyai. Gives it to Bowden. And he gets it in.
That's a great job from Junior there.
Yeah, it's a great chemistry there by the sophomores. The screen, the drive. And there's a 3 that goes from Teamer. We got 5-2 St. John's here in this one. Just halfway done here in the first. Clayton with Teamer, and he'll draw a foul. That's Teamer's first. Lee will throw it in now. Getting a little chippy there. That's Teamer and Malachi Clayton. He'll give it over to Bowden, scratch that, that's Werner. And he'll put it up for 2. Nothing but net for Werner.
It's a great shot by Werner there, trying to get his team up early here.
And that one is going to be bobbled and picked up by the Shamrocks. Here's Bowden on the drive, and he's going to get that one to go. No foul called, but a lot of contact down there in the paint. Here's Teamer, he'll bring it up. Clayton on him. Gonna get a screen, swings it out to Jones, pump fakes, gets a screen, gives it to Kowalczyk. Here's Jones again, gives it back to Teamer. Back to Kowalczyk, he fumbles it, gives it to Bowden, and he'll draw a foul. He'll go to the line for 2.
That's a great job there from the Shamrocks, turning defense into offense early here. They're going to need a lot of that.
Absolutely. They've done a great job of staying away from foul trouble, but on top of that, drawing fouls themselves. Walker comes in for Clayton, and there's Werner. And that one won't go. Here's Washington. He's going to give it off to James. James to Kowalczyk. Kowalczyk puts it up, and that one won't go.
Looks like it's going to be on Walker here.
Kowalczyk's first one will go, and that'll tie it up here at 6. And here comes Gideon Gash for Lyndon Boyai. Gideon Gash just received offer from football from the University of Toledo just yesterday as Kowalczyk's second free throw goes, and they'll lead this one 6-7. Here comes Bowden. Bowden from the wing, fakes it to Walker. He's gonna try to get it in for Werner, but they turn it over. Something the Shamrocks have done all year. Here's Washington, brings it up, that's Hammock. Back to Jones. Jones defended by Walker. Back to Hammock, gets it in for Kowalczyk. Double teamed for Washington for three. Can't get it to go, Walker on the rebound. He kicks it out to Gash. Gash coming up with speed. And that one goes off his foot and out of bounds, just a little mishandled there. Coming off the bench, maybe a little cold, but it's all right. Here's Washington, defended by Werner. He's gonna give it to Kowalczyk. Kowalczyk will drive. Nothing to go. And a jump ball. Andrew Walker comes in and tries to rip it out. Scratch that, they won't have it be a jump ball. Washington will throw it in for St. John's. Kowalczyk under the hoop, can't get it. Here's Bowden, he's got Walker and Lee. Lee tries to get it back to Bowden, and he does. Got Walker out the wing, top of the key, drives. He's got Gash, can't find him, gives it off to Bowden. Bowden lost his dribble, got it back. Here's Lee, drives, and that one goes.
Perfectly executed there for both Bowden and Lee.
Here's Washington now. He's going to give it off to 32 Goodenough. Back to Jones. Jones will drive, can't get it. There it is for three, and that one is not close. Here's Werner. He's going to give it off to Lee. Lee from way downtown, and that one won't go. Here's Kowalczyk. He lets go as a deep ball, and that one goes. And he lets the crowd know it. Here comes Werner. Werner defended by Washington. He drives, gives it off to Walker, who throws it behind his back, but it can't go. There's Jones that has a nice take there to the lane. 12-8 St. John's here as we're under a minute left to go in the first quarter. Werner, and that one doesn't go. But a great effort, and he'll go to the line.
That was a great second chance effort there. I thought he was going to get the and one, but made it to the line.
St. Clair will check in for Bowden as Werner's second free throw goes. Here comes Washington. Defended by Werner. Swings it off to Jones. Jones in the corner. Gives it to Kowalczyk. And that one's out of bounds on the Shamrocks. James comes in for number 34, Lamb. Here's James. James to Washington. He's got Jones. A little trickery going on from beyond the three line. Here's James. Looks like they're setting something up, but we can't really tell. Here's James. He gives it to Jones for three. That one goes. Looks like we saw what they were setting up. as St. John's goes up 15-9 at the end of the first here from Novi as we take a break. We welcome here tonight the class of 2029, the incoming freshmen. They just got accepted into Catholic Central today. Fun fact for you guys at home, my brother is in the class of 29, so shout out to him. Now we start the second quarter. Clayton will come back into the game. Gash to throw it in. Gash gives it off to Clayton, and he'll try to slow it down, defended by Washington. Gives it off to St. Clair, back to Clayton. Clayton, top of the key, plays around with it, gives it to Walker. He's got St. Clair in the corner, but he'll just put it up himself. Doesn't go. Gash on the second effort. That one won't go either. Little contact there after that. Nothing called as Washington will bring it up. Washington gets the screen, defended by Clayton. Gives it off to Hammock.
They got him for the travel there.
And I believe they called him for the travel. Lee gives it off to Clayton. Pressed up by Washington. Clayton looking for time and space. He's going to find Walker in the corner for three. And that one, all air, and the crowd's going to let him hear it. Shamrock's ball, as that did, in fact, go off of a St. John's player. Lee for three. That one, all air as well. Shamrock's just not looking good from the field goal tonight, as here's Kowalczyk. He'll drive, got Washington, and he'll dump it off to him. Here's Jones, top of the key, to the wing. Back to Washington. Here's Kowalczyk. He's got Hammock coming around, decides not to give it to him, and he'll take a shot. That one won't go. Here's Walker coming up with speed. He's got Gash and Lee. Gives it off to Gash, who gives it to Clayton. St. Clair, pump fake. Here's Lee. Foot's on the line. It's a two, and it goes. Devin Lee gets the Shamrocks on the board here in the second half. Or second quarter, excuse me. And here's Hammock from the wing, gives it off to Kowalczyk. He'll drive, and one.
That's a great job by Lee on that last possession here.
Kowalczyk, his free throw will go. Jackson Bowden comes in for St. Clair. As here comes Clayton. He's got Walker. Won't give it to him, but he's defended by Washington. Dumps it off to Lee. Gets a screen from Boyai, and he almost goes over the 10-second line. Dumps it off to Clayton. Back to Lee, wide open for two. In and out. And here comes Washington with speed. He's got Jones on the wing. Will drive. And he gets that one in. Pretty impressive shot there from James Jones. Malachi Clayton lost the ball, and Washington turns it over. Here's Lee for three, and that one goes. Timeout, St. John's, as Detroit Catholic Central has gotten all the momentum back, still down by 6. CC so far done a great job of taking care of the paint when it comes to defense. St. John's also hasn't been knocking down threes left and right like it's kind of been that story for the Shamrocks all year when we saw games like U of D and Brother Rice. Low scoring game here on this cold Friday night, 20-14, as we're almost halfway through the second quarter. YSL Davis will come in for Gash, I believe. Here comes Washington, defended by Clayton. Clayton with the steal, and they're going to say it's also out of bounds on the Shamrocks, but a good play nevertheless, as Jones will throw it in for St. John's. Washington almost lost it. Gets a screen there from Kowalczyk. He's going to dump it off to him, top of the key, and he'll drive in. Defended by Bowden. Hammock drives, and they can't get it. Linden, good D. Washington, and that one goes. 22-14 St. John's. And here comes YSL Davis, his first touch tonight from the wing. He's going to give it off to Bowden. Back to Lee. He'll drive, gets a little shifty with it, and can't come up with the shot. I'm going to say out of bounds on the Shamrocks here. Here comes Washington. Gives it off to Hammock, to Kowalczyk. Stolen by Linden Boyai. Here he comes. Bang, and it doesn't go. Here comes St. John's. Jones, top of the key. He gives it off to Washington. And that one's stolen away. Here comes Bowden. He's all alone. He'll lay it in for 2.
A great job by Bowden there.
And he does what Boyai couldn't. Here's Hammock, swings it over to Washington from the wing. Back to Kowalczyk. Here's Lamb. Lamb drives gets all the way back to Kowalczyk. Here's Hammock with the drive. Good D by YSL Davis. Here comes Bowden up the court now, and he's got Boyai in the paint. Gives it off to Clayton, deep for 3. It goes! Nothing but net for Malachi Clayton. 22-19. Just halfway done with the second quarter. Here comes Jones, defended by Lee. Gives it off to Lamb, to Washington, to Hammock. And they're going to call a... I believe they got Boyai with a foul.
Yeah, I didn't really see a foul there, but must have been mistaken.
Team second for the Rocks.
Got to give it to the Shamrocks here, not being too over-aggressive and racking up fouls.
They get that one to go. Fairly easy there. Here's Bowden. Got Lee, top of the key. Gets a little banged up. There's YSL Davis. Gets it off to Malachi. He gives it back to Bowden. Back to Kai. He's going to drive. Swings it over to Lee. Lee will put it up. Can't get it to go. YSL in the second effort. And they're going to say Lyndon Boyai stepped out of bounds. Here's James. He's going to bring it up this time. Gives it off to Jones from the wing. Back to Lamb. Had a wide open shot. Didn't take it. Here's James drives, and that one will go for 2. Here's Mal. He'll bring it up across the 10-second line. Gets a screen from Boyai. Swings it back to Boyai. Doesn't get it. Here it is from 3, and that one goes! Race Kowalczyk knocks it down from deep as Lee will bring it up for the Shamrocks. Gonna try to give it off to Bowden, and it will. Bowden drives, Bowden off the backboard, but can't get it to go. Here comes Jones. Jones swings it over, tries to get it to Kowalczyk, and a save by Bowden is gonna get back to the Shamrocks, recovered by Lyndon Boyai, and he'll throw it off to Malachi Clayton. Malachi, top of the key. Now he gives it to Lee. Lee drives, and they're gonna get him for the foul. Called a little late. Jaden Jones, that's his first. Lee from the line to the line, 4-2. His first one will go. That makes it a 9-point game. Boyai and YSL Davis coming out as Walker and Werner check in. Just under a minute and a half to go in the second quarter as Lee's second free throw goes. 8-point game here in Novi. Here comes James. James from about half court gets a screen, and he'll drive. Can't get anything, but he does draw a foul. Crowd doesn't like that one. Student section doesn't like that one, and even Coach Jackson a little fired up. Nevertheless, Ethan James to the line for 2 shots. His first one bricked so hard it went in. As he'll get another one. 9-point game now. Student section lets him hear it, but it doesn't matter as he's 2 for 2. Walker to throw it in to Malachi Clayton. He'll bring it up. He's gonna look for Devin Lee. He's gonna get the screen from Devin Lee, tries to give it back. He's got Walker in the corner. He's gonna drive. And they're gonna get Kowalczyk on the foul there. Was a little confused on the call. Nevertheless, Shamrock ball. Lee will throw it in. Looking for Bowden, and he'll get it to him. Bowden will drive. Bowden for 2, and that one goes in. Nice lay from Jackson Bowden. Here's Washington. He'll bring it up, pass it off to Jones. No, won't get a screen from Kowalczyk. To Hammock, to Washington. Back to Kowalczyk. Looking for Lamb, but he'll give it back to Hammock, to Jones. Jones gets a screen, doesn't set much up. Back to Kowalczyk. Back to Jones. Gets a screen this time. Back to Kowalczyk, and he'll give it over to Lamb. Here's Jones. To Kowalczyk. Back to Jones. Back to Washington from about half court to Hammock. They got to speed things up. Here's Jones, top of the key. Here's for 3. That's Washington on the shot. Doesn't go. St. John's up in this one, 31-23, as both teams go to the locker room for halftime. And ladies and gentlemen, we will be back in just about 20 minutes. Folks, at this time, we'd like to thank our title sponsor, Chris, Andrew, and Patrick Nemes, former Catholic Central lacrosse players, as well as the team at Nemes Rush Family Wealth Management Company, your source for protecting and preserving generational wealth. For all your personal financial investment and estate planning needs and more, visit www.nemesrush.com. Folks, for the second half, I'm going to be passing off the play-by-play mic to Victor. I will be here as the color announcer. So, Victor, take it away. What do you think the Shamrocks need to do to get back into this one for the second half?
Thank you, Cam. Well, I think something the Shamrocks did a lot better in the first half was their defense, turning defense into offense there. But in this half, I'd really like to see the Shamrocks take more advantage of the offense and try and knock down more shots in the paint.
Absolutely, and I think that as far as the turnovers has gone, it's been a little bit better for the Shamrocks tonight, but I think in this second half, they've got to be absolutely perfectly fundamentally sound with the basketball.
Absolutely. So here we are to start it off the third quarter into James, guarded by Clayton here, trying to push the ball up court. Passes off to Jones, back to James, back to Kowalik, trying to move the ball here. Turnover by, picks it up, guarded by Bowden. In the corner, knocks it down.
St. John's looking to be aggressive from the three line. That's Teamer, his first three of the game.
Clayton pushing the ball up court here. Guarded by James, looks for the screen, got it. Lost the handle there, picked up by Jones, and he got the foul. Oh, looks like we got a jump ball here.
Coach Jackson looks to be a little fired up over there on the sideline.
Most definitely.
Not sure if he didn't like the call or if he's just doing coach stuff.
Back into Clayton here. Shamrocks looking to get Devin open. Picks it out to Junior. Junior looking around. Jump shot. Rebounded. Picked up by James, who's pushing the ball up the court. Back to Jones. Shot. Gets it. Rebounded. Malachi Clayton. Shamrocks looking for an answer here. Into Boya. Boya looking in. Bowden for three. No good. Rebounded Kowalik. Into Jones. Jones looking to push the ball up here. Guarded by Devin. Kowalik for three. No good. James with the rebound. Out of bounds. Titans ball.
That's a pretty smart play there to throw it off of Lyndon Boyai to get the ball back.
Absolutely.
However, does not affect the shot clock.
Jones into James here. James looking, gets it to Kowalik, guarded by Lee. Looking to post up Lee here. Back out to Jones, guarded by Bowden. Puts it in.
Jones, that's a great mid-range shot. Great job by the Shamrocks to force those mid-range shots. That's where you want them, outside of the paint, but just inside the three line. But Jaden Jones makes the adjustment.
Clayton driving into the paint, out to Lee. Looking to drive into the paint, pull-up jumper. No good. Rebounded. Here come the Titans storming down the court. Up to Jones. No good. Shamrocks looking to push the pressure here into Walker. Walker puts it up and puts it in.
Great defensive play there by Sadiq to knock it down on the drive from, I believe it was Jones.
Into James. Guarded by Devin. Back to Kowalik. Kowalik pulls up for three. No good. And a missed rebound from the Shamrocks. Way to not give up on the play. Shamrock ball.
Kowalczyk, looks like he just loses the handle. It's going to go out of bounds. That's a costly turnover if you're St. John's. CC looking to get the momentum back on their side, but they got to go quickly because they have not been putting up a lot of points in this game.
Lee from the corner. Goes into Bowden. Bowden looking to post up here. Can't find anyone. Onamisi. Back to Walker. Back to Onamisi, who puts it up and puts it in. Onamisi Sadiq, the senior.
Onamisi Sadiq, one of their bigger guys. They just got him in for the second half. Didn't see him at all in the first, but he gets the bucket there.
Rebounded by Bowden. Bowden looking to push the floor here, scanning, trying to find Lee or Clayton. Puts it in himself. Bowden, the 6'4" junior, and a timeout by the Titans, cutting the lead to 9.
CC with all of the energy here to start the third quarter, as it's a 9-point game.
Coach Jackson looking to fire up his troops as the Shamrocks are down 9 with 4:28 left to go in the third quarter. Plenty of ball left to be played here.
Yeah, and Coach Jackson, under his second year, by no means under any sort of pressure by the athletic department, but a little bit of a disappointing start to the season as an embarrassing loss to our rivals, Brother Rice, and then another one on the road against Mary's last week.
Jones passes it out. Picked off by Bowden. Bowden looking for Walker, pushing the ball down the court. Looks at Walker, puts it in. Shamrocks have all the momentum. Looks at James, guarded by Clayton. Trying to get the fans involved here. James with the spin move. Kicks it out for 3. No good, rebounded by James. Passes back out. And the 3 by Hammock.
St. John's coach is fired up over there. A little surprising.
Shamrocks looking for an answer here. Clayton looking to get the ball to Walker. Takes it in himself. Into the paint. Shot. No good. Rebounded. Onamisi. Bowden trying to find it. And they got him for a travel. You gotta love how Bowden is trying to use his size, 6'4", try and post up in the paint and try and get the ball off the glass. Meanwhile, inbounded to James, guarded by Clayton. Matchup we will definitely see later on. Jones, guarded by Lee, posting up Lee. No basket and a back-to-back travel call.
Great defense there by Devin Lee down in the paint. Uses his size. They get the shot off, but it goes in and out.
Back to Clayton. Clayton, why not? No good. Rebounded James, pushing the ball up the court. Guarded by Clayton. Kicks it out. Hammock. And he got the foul. Titans attacking the interior of the Shamrocks. He's able to get the ball to get through.
Yeah, if I'm Coach Jackson here, I think the adjustment you need to make is I think they got to start playing with some more tempo. Got to try to put the pressure back on the Titans, so they'll get their free throws to go.
Completes the three-point play into Clayton. Weissel Davis has just checked in for Walker. Lee, top of the key, drives in, looks for Davis. Davis pulls up, no good. Rebounded by Lamb, put back up by Bowden.
Absolutely great play by there by Onamisi Sadiq to steal it, gives it off to Bowden, and it's 2 points from there.
Hammock looking, guarded by Onamisi, picked off, and Lee lets it go out of bounds. And looks like it's going to go to the Titans here.
Gideon comes in for Onamisi Sadiq.
Shamrocks down by 11 here. 2:14 left to go in the third. James to inbound. Finds Hammock. Posts up. Back in. Can't finish. Back to Jones, who puts it in. It's back to 13 for the Titans. Clayton gets past James. Puts it in. Beautiful shot.
Malachi Clayton, have a day. He is going off right now, and he is in the zone.
Shamrocks definitely need that if they're going to come back from this 11-point deficit here. Lee trying to fight for the ball, and they got him for the foul. You got to respect the Shamrocks trying to be a little bit more aggressive here, but definitely don't want the fouls to rack up. Goodnow checks into the game. James to inbound to Goodnow. Back to Jones, guarded by Bowden. And a cut, blocked by Gash. Back to Weissel Davis. Lee for three. Oh, in and out. A good try there. James pushing the ball up the court here. Guarded by Clayton. Clayton to Jones, guarded by Lee. James pushing the ball in. A three, no good. No good again. Shamrocks trying to rebound. Back top of the key, Kowalik pushes the ball in. No good. No good. And finally they get the foul. Shamrocks are definitely getting the opportunity here on these missed shots from the Titans, but unfortunately they just can't capitalize on the rebounding aspect.
Absolutely, and I think at this point some of their guys look really tired out there. I would not be surprised if Coach Jackson gets into some subs so that he's got his guys fresh for the fourth quarter. As we're going to see it here, Sadiq comes in for Weissel Davis. Haven't seen much of either of them today, but looks like they're going to rotate out.
Missed free throw here, rebounded by the Titans, put back up, no good, and finally Onamisi wrestles it down. Meanwhile, Bowden looking to push the floor back into Lee, puts it in. Beautiful shot by Devin Lee. Inbound into James. Clayton looking for the full court press here, try and spark some sort of run for the Shamrocks. Last 20 seconds of our play here. The third quarter, Shamrocks down by 10. James driving, kicks it out. No good. Rebounded James. Back to Jones. Caught by Bowden. Back to James. Last second shot here for James, and he gets it to fall.
Looks like the Shamrocks were a bit confused there on defense. Coach Jackson's clearly trying to get a message across, but they just can't pick it up.
I'm very curious to see how Walker, Boya, and Werner play a role in this fourth quarter here, as we have yet to see Boya and Werner come in yet. Looks like Werner's going to check in, actually. Oh.
Yep, Warner's going to get in. Believe Walker's got some foul trouble, but I agree. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw a little bit of him either. Hear Coach Jackson from all the way up here. He's fired up. But like I have been saying all night, and like I just stated a couple minutes ago, I think right now in the fourth quarter, CC needs to come out with some more tempo, playing a little bit faster, trying to get St. John's uncomfortable, and that will ultimately lead to St. John's missing shots and Catholic Central making shots.
Most definitely. Try and see if you can get Lee and Onamisi down in the paint to box out Hammock and Kowalik, try and get some more boards up here.
Absolutely. Definitely need to take advantage of their size.
Beginning of the fourth quarter, Shamrocks down by 12. Rebounded Onamisi. Knocked out of bounds by Jones. I'm curious to see what Coach Jackson has cooking. Into Lee. Calls off the ISO. Posts up. Looks at Werner. Werner's stuck. He needs help. Gets it to Lee. Back to Bowden. Bowden looking inside. Finds Onamisi. Oh, and Onamisi can't find it. Back to James. James on James here. Puts it in.
James, what a shot. The mid-range covered there by Junior Werner, and it just doesn't affect him at all.
Down by 14, 7 minutes left to go. Devin Lee gets it to Bowden. Bowden looking. He's stuck. Gets it to Lee. Lee for three. No good. And looks like it's going to be Titans ball here. So we're going to get a subs. Clayton in for Gash. And Walker in for Onamisi. 6:50 left to go in this game, folks. A lot more ball to be played here. James beats Malachi to Jones. Back to James, guarded by Malachi. Looking to double team here. Finds the open Kowalik. And he gets the and one.
Yeah, Werner not happy with the call. Got a little tied up there in the arms. I personally agree. I don't think that's a foul. Nevertheless, Stripes will call the game the same.
Junior definitely not happy on the sideline there. As Hammock completes the three-point play. Meanwhile, Clayton looking to drive. Backs out to Lee. Almost stolen there. Walker for three. No good. Rebounded James. James looking to push the floor here. Finds Jones. Jones drives and puts it in. And a timeout by the Shamrocks. Unfortunately, just getting beat on the glass. Back on transition here. 6:12 left to go in this game. Cam, what do you think the Shamrocks need to do here to try and erase some of these point deficits?
Well, Victor, right here, I think it's just about do or die for Coach Jackson. I think if he's got something up his sleeve, he's got to throw it out right now because we don't have a whole lot of time left in this one, and the CC just has not been able to put points on the board. Like I said, they've only been averaging 59.6 a game, which is just very, very poor. And today they're even under that at 37. So they need to just start getting the ball in the hoop a little more. Easier said than done, but they need to do that. They need to do it fast.
3 timeouts left for Coach Jackson here as Shamrocks are down with 6:12 left to go in the fourth quarter. Let's see if the Shamrocks could find a player or players with a spark here. Walker to inbound to Clayton. Clayton guarded by James. Clayton looking for it. Trying to drive. Finds Weissel. Open three. He got it. Little extracurricular there at the end. James looking to respond here. Guarded by Clayton. Back to Jones. James back to Jones. looking to deceive the Shamrocks here. Open Weissel. Clayton looking to push the ball up here. Loses it. Picked up by Teamer. Back to Kowalik. And Kowalik gets it to fall.
Yeah, this is what has been killing the Shamrocks all year, those costly turnovers. And they were bringing up the ball with tempo, like I said. But
Rebounded by Teamer here, looking to push tempo.
The turnovers just getting a little out of hand.
Here comes Jones here, guarded by Lee. Picked up by Clayton. St. Clair just checked into the game, guarded by James. Back to Teamer. Rebounded Jones. Rebounded St. Clair. Pushing the ball up to Lee. Lee drives it in and puts it in. Shamrocks down by 19 here with 4:32 left to go. Definitely looking for some more rhythm here.